Today I'll teach you how to perform client-side validation for RadioButton in ASP.NET Core MVC. So let's start. So the very first thing, I'll open Solution Explorer, and from there I'll be opening the model class. Now inside the class, I am adding a namespace called system.componentModel.Data Annotations. This particular namespace is required for data annotations. Here I'll be adding one single property called gender, which will be a string property. As you can see, at present I am adding a data annotation required, and I am setting the error message for it. This particular data annotation is used for performing required validations. It is very similar to required field validator. So with this, our model class is complete. Now let's move to the view. Now inside the view, I am inheriting the tag helper classes. The next thing I am doing is adding a form. The method attribute I am setting to post. Then I am setting the ASP controller attribute to home. And lastly, the ASP action attribute to index. Now inside the form, I am creating an HTML table, and within the HTML table, the very first thing which I am adding is a label element for displaying the label for our RadioButton. The next thing I am adding is a RadioButton, and for that I am making use of input element. Now I am making use of ASP4 attribute, and in the ASP4 attribute value I'll be setting the gender property, and the value I am setting as M. ASP4 attribute is used to set a value for a particular field. So in this case it will be fetching the value from the gender field. In similar way, for the second option, I am setting the value as F. The next thing I am adding is the HTML span element, which will be used to display the validation error message. The HTML span has been set with an ASP validation 4 attribute. This particular attribute will be used for displaying the validation message for the model property. Now I am adding a submit button. And for that I am making use of input element, and I am setting the type as submit. Now let's move to the controller. Inside the controller, now I am adding an action result method for handling post call. The reason is that I'll be submitting a form, so that form will be submitted to this particular method. I am naming it as index, and I am passing the person model class object as parameter. Inside the function, I am simply returning the view function. Here I am decorating the method with the HTTP post attribute. Now again, let's move back to the view part. In order to enable client-side validations, I am inheriting some script files, which includes the jQuery library, the jQuery validation plugin, and the jQuery validation unobtrusive JavaScript library. Here I have pasted some CSS classes. This is required for styling the view as well as setting the color for the error message, which will be displayed during validation. So with this we complete our programming part, and now it's time to run our project and see it in action. RadioButton, and the button has been rendered, and also the validation is working fine. I am selecting the gender, and I will again submit. As you can see, the form values have been submitted. It is working fine. So with this we come to the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to click the bell icon. Goodbye.